All right, you guys. Next installment. Now that we have the little letters applied to our nice painted unit over there, we get to swap them out and replace my defective tag light that doesn't want to shine for crap. First thing we're going to want to do is there are 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 10 millimeters. We're going to unplug our electrical there. See, here's the orientation. Wide, wide, too close together in the center. Okey-dokes. All right, the other guys came out okay. However, to get to that last one, because of the windshield wiper motor in the rear, I had to loosen those, take them out, and then get a wobble. Fortunately, see, when I did this last time, I took the motor out and rebuilt it, so everything was out of the way. This time, it's gonna be a pain in the butt. It's working, so yeah, hang tight. Okay, I had to get that out the last little bit with my fingers. This little guy's a pain in the butt, but you got to pull this little plastic piece up because it's got this little tab, and then the whole unit will come out. And this is what I'm putting in its place. I happen to have a set of these. I'm tired of the cheap ones that keep failing on these trunks. Civic, it's easy to get to, and others, the lights, the bulbs are easy to get to. This, not so much. All right, here's the whole thing out. So you got your little grommet there. This is our problem child. These are plastic, so they're exceptionally tedious to get apart, and it's just easier to do it like this. So I took it out of the car to get after them. In order to get some of them loose, you have to get your fingernail up under as you're using the screwdriver. There you go. To loosen them and pull them up, and then they start to come loose. I usually try not to screw them all the way down. That way I can change them if need be. One of them I had run down all the way. But yeah, you pull these little plastic screws out. I had to go through like 10 different cars, it seemed like, to get screw heads that weren't stripped, because people get after them like they're real screws. I'm gonna push these up and through. They work like the clips on the bumpers. Okay, once they're loose, the only thing holding this on is just this little clip. Sorry, a little clip there, holding the wiring there and holding it here. Now I always end up having to pay extra for this stuff at the junkyard, so I don't take the wiring. I'm going to get it underneath that with the screwdriver. Flaw with these as they age, you see these cracks, so it's very hard to find these housings in good condition, so you have to kind of watch for that. That's another good thing to get at the junkyard if you can. These just walk out, but yeah, you got to watch for the cracks. Oops, you got to watch for the cracks. Check these guys before you button everything up. What were the odds? I had them both reverse polarity, so I had to pull them out and swap them. So just plug them in before you route everything through and verify they work, that you got them in the correct orientation. Put your bulb in, then stick your little guy back without his screws. Then you're going to want to run the wire and clip this little bad boy back in place. Easier said than done. There we go. Okay. Same deal over here. You're going to want your housing. Plug him in. Technical difficulties. Trying to do that leaning over the camera was not working. Okay, there we go. Pop and lock. Now you're going to run him into his spot. Boom, boom. Continue to run your wires and add your last clip. Okay, there's our clip in place. He played nice. I should have used him as a demo. Now we've got our grommet, so we're going to want to close our trunk. I don't want to close it close. You're going to aim your wiring harness through this hole and through the other hole, and then fish it through, push it in. I need 2 hands. Now you want to aim, run them in place, open yourself back up. You're through here. This will plug back together, this to that, and then you're going to start capturing your nuts onto their corresponding bolts. That was no fun. Started him, got him 90% of the way with my finger, and then stuck the wobble back up in there. I had to use the wobble to get this little guy to start. These, it was just a matter of using the extension. No harm, no foul. Those were easy. Now I'm running these guys back in, and I will touch base again. They're back in. And yes, if you wanted to deal with your windshield washer motor, you would have to take those 3 out. However, you would want to take that off first by lifting up your cover here and going after the nut. Yeah, the nut, and then you can work that off carefully. Try not to break your glass. You'll need a little tool to gently wiggle because that's splined. Yeah. And yes, I forgot to mention it, but I did hand run those screws, those little plastic screws back in, so they're in place. And I double checked the wiring, so we're all good. We are back together. We are shiny. We open, we close. We have light again, light again. Tag lights are operational. Tag lights? No. Tag lights are operational. So, yay. And yeah, there's a little bit of sun damage on it, but such is life. I'll see if I can't cover it up with some black wax or something. But for now, that's why I got a second set of letters. Anyway, guys, that's all that fun.